My hair grew overnight. I'm totally digging it. Real hair. This is mine. Hey guys, it's Blaize, and today's topic, if you cannot, understand it by the title, I'm a witch. So yeah, I'm going to go into what I mean by that. Looks so basic this morning. I don't know. Okay, so basically around the ages of 11, 12, I knew that I was proud to be Jewish by heritage. And all my life, I never followed Jewish laws, and I never, for some reason at this age, I was kind of searching for what belief system I should have and what belief system felt right for me. And I did a whole shit ton of researching, all different types of faiths and beliefs and all of that. And I came across Wicca. So that was my first, and when I started reading about it, it really, really crossed my mind that I think I've been this almost my whole life. Those of you who don't know, Wicca is a sect of paganism. So when I was 12 and 13, I started teaching myself and practicing Wicca. And some people weren't. My mom and my dad, he didn't give a crap. My mom thought it was great. She loves the concept of Wicca and how it empowers women, and how women aren't just treated equally. They're like, women are worshipped in this religion, belief system, whatever. And I mentioned this in my Am I Psychic video. I was 13 when I begged my dad to take me to Barnes and Noble's to buy my first tarot deck. And he was like, he wasn't like totally against this. He just was like, it's a waste of time and it's all mumbo jumbo, it's bullshit, it's not a real thing, which it is. I can see where he's coming from, because a lot of people have the belief that, witchcraft is not real, or they have the philosophy that witchcraft is evil. And this is what's holding my tarot deck at the moment, I should say. Of course, it's leopard print. And this was my first tarot deck I ever got. Let me show you there. A couple of the cards are worn out. This is just the universal weight deck, which is the universal deck. It's the normal one. There's nothing special about it. And I was told that you weren't supposed to buy your own tarot deck, that it would only work if somebody gave you theirs when I was 13, but I was like, I'm not really sure I believe that. So I kind of did not follow every single law that Wicca and paganism was going in. I was just kind of taking the ones that I like and taking the ones that I actually believe. And I was like, I don't believe that tarot cards won't work if you personally buy them. I don't think that they'll only work if somebody gives them to you. But a tarot deck was given to me years down the road, but we'll get to that later. I'm telling you, for weeks I studied and wrote down and practiced with these tarot cards night after night after night, even during school hours, because like what else did I have to do? So I was just getting so pumped and so into this, and I was like, this is what I was born to be. This is what I was born to do. So I was actually very happy with my faith for the first time, because this was like a faith that was like, it was calling out to me. And I was like, why hadn't I heard about this the first 12 years of my life? Basically, I've been a practicing witch and practicing witchcraft and practicing pagan for 14 years. I did not call myself pagan when I was a very young teen, from 13 to about 15 or 16. I said I was just straight Wiccan. And I would show you my first pentacle I ever bought, but I don't know why I can't find it. It was just right next to me, but I got it at Red Bank, in Red Bank, New Jersey, for people that are in New Jersey, and everybody knows where Red Bank is. We actually went there on a school field trip once, because we had like the best school trips. We didn't go on school trips like normal kids go on school trips. We went to graveyards, weird New Jersey. We went to like movies. We just McDonald's, Friendlies. We went on the most random field trips. So that was really, really cool, but off topic. To find out, one of my favorite staff members, I'll always call her Miss or Miss DeSanto, even though now she's Mrs. Glickman, because she got married, but she's always been Miss or Miss DeSanto to me. She was my absolute favorite. She was put there for me. I know that. And even after I graduated, her and my father even kept in touch, because my father is a jeweler, and her husband used to go in there to get their rings fixed, whatever. She happened to know a lot about Wicca and paganism and the goddesses, and she actually kind of took just me, because I was the only one in the school who had these beliefs. She kind of took me under her wing with that and taught me a lot. So she was actually my first teacher when it came to Wicca and paganism. This wig is making me friggin' sweat, oh my god. So I was about 16 years old when I started identifying myself more as pagan. I am polytheistic, and if nobody knows what polytheistic means, it means believing in more than one god or goddesses. I believe in both, and I worship both. I do not worship the god as in like God. If you ever read about ancient gods, Greek, Roman, Egyptian, that kind of thing, and it really sucks now, because one of my favorite, and now when I say this is going to sound horrible, one of my favorite goddesses that I have pendants to that I can no longer wear because of these monstrous assholes was I promised myself that this was going to be a shorter video, and it's not looking that way. Decided to put my string lights on just for ambiance. Anyway, like I was saying, one of my favorite goddesses that I worshipped was Isis, who is an Egyptian goddess. The Egyptian goddess, like she rules the school in Egypt. But now these monsters have taken that sacred name of this sacred goddess and turned it into a radical, horrible, terrorist kind of shit that's bullshit, because I can't say anymore I love Isis without people going. Or when I was 18, when I started working on different jobs, I had a job at East Meets West for like a good 2 months. And I met a few people there who were my friends, and they were also pagan in belief. And so we kind of became really, really close at one point. We were like inseparable. Every single minute of every single day, we spent time together. Not gonna name names or anything, whatever. So I've run into a lot of fake pagans and all that the years, and that's what they were. They were kind of into it because they thought it was cool, and they thought it was creepy and different, and they just wanted to stand out. But I don't believe they actually had the belief system of paganism. I don't think they believed in anything. I just think that they just wanted to say they were because they wanted to be part of the cool crowd. Through these friends is how I met Corey, my late fiance, who was 100% pagan. He was an absolute genius when it came to paganism. He had been practicing almost his whole entire life as well. And he became guidance and a teacher to me as well. Because even though I was very schooled in paganism by this point, he still knew more than me. He was dedicated to this religion like nobody I've ever seen before. If anybody, you know in the pagan community in New Jersey has not heard the name Corey Hyman, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Because he was like, his freaking wig, he was like the head of pagans in New Jersey. Like, everybody knew who he was. Not only did we attend Pagan Pride Days, which were huge events for pagans in New Jersey, and but we also, Corey and I and a couple of other people who, like I said, I don't want to mention, but it was mostly Corey and I, ran Pagan Pride Days. And we put them together. We spent days in the heat of we just busted our asses getting Pagan Pride Days together, where we went to different stores to promote it. We got the vendors to come and where they were going to be placed. We did absolutely everything. We made the prizes that were going to be given out. We did absolutely everything. So Pagan Pride Day 2007 was one of the best things ever, because I was kind of his assistant, and I made some of the arts and crafts that were not sold there, but given away as prizes. And he, like I said, is just absolutely brilliant, and he was a great businessman. He was great with people, a real people person. And we, in a group, with some people, like I said, I don't want to mention, but we did rituals, group rituals, and people, when they think of like pagan rituals, they think like we run around naked and, with upside down crosses, and we worship Satan, which I just want to get out of the way. Pagans do not worship Satan, okay? We don't, which is we don't worship Satan, okay? So first, just get that out of your heads. Rituals we did were for solstices and pretty much every pagan holiday, or just ones we wanted to do just because we wanted to do them. And it involved music and singing and chanting, but not the scary kind, like Hollywood will lead you to believe. Just nature. We worship nature. And gods and goddesses. Another few I can name that were my favorites throughout the years. Obviously Odin, who is the god of all gods. So he's an obvious one. Eros, god of love, and he's got personal meaning to me. Aphrodite, Hecate, Minerva. Those are like my top. Who, when I'm praying, or talking to the gods and goddesses, those are the people the gods and goddesses that I usually talk to. They're the ones I've got the most connection with. So, but I did skip, because I have my notebook here, and I did skip a little bit ahead. I started practicing witchcraft when I was 13 years old, and if you watched my Am I a Psychic video, I casted my first spell. It was a love spell, and I really didn't think it was gonna work, but I casted it on Ryan, this guy who I had a crush on, and the next day he started paying attention to me, and it got really, really out of hand. And I don't know if any of you have seen The Craft, but the one thing they got right: never ever cast a love spell, because once you've opened that baby, it does not shut, and it becomes very, very dangerous. And he thought at the time that me being a witch was really, really sexy. But then when I last spoke to him and I told him I never wanted to speak to him again, and I can't tell you how many times I've told him that, but he's just, oh, okay, I'm not going to say it's not my place, but now he says that anything bad that happens in his life he's going to blame on me because I put a hex on him, because I'm a witch. So I went from being the sexiest witch in the world to I'm going to totally fuck up his entire life. And that's just him saying, I can't take responsibility for my own shitty actions. So, and that's what it was. I've casted, I can't tell you, hundreds and hundreds of spells over the years. Some of them working, some of them not. It really depends on what spellcraft you're using. But yeah, I have called myself a witch since I was 13 years old. I am a witch. I practice witchcraft. And no, that does not include satanic shit, okay? I just want to really get that across to people, because a lot of people have the wrong idea about pagans and witches and stuff like that. If you don't want to believe in witches or witchcraft, it's not Hollywood-based witchcraft witches. It's nature worship and intuition and goddesses and gods and I don't know how to describe it. It's just your belief system and your faith, and this is what attracted me. And it took me a couple of years to actually get really good at this. And that's because I'm gonna admit, when I did first start practicing, I was like, I'm doing this for fun and doing this because I think it's totally awesome. And that's when things didn't really go my way. But once I started really internally believing in this and having this become my faith, that's when most of the time my spellcraft started to work. To this day, I have friends who come and ask me, I'm having this go on, paranormal experiences, I'm having bad, which my paranormal experience is going to be in a different video, but that everybody comes to me for advice. Can you think of a spell or something that can help me with so-and-so? And I'm just going to say, as I say to every single person who comes to me with that, first of all, go on Amazon or eBay and buy some sage smudge sticks, okay? Just do that, because they are uber cheap and uber effective. I used to burn sage and cleanse my room in my old house every single day, at least once, because there was a very, very dark entity living in that house, especially in my room, which, like I said, that's for another video. But I still have friends who come to me and ask me, what can I do when it comes to this? So a lot of people, I don't think they believe in this kind of stuff. They just kind of think, I don't really have another choice or another option to go to, so let me just ask Blaize, because she's a witch, maybe she'll know what to do. And they know that I'm not, like, evil at all. Well, people think that the pentacle is an evil, it's an evil symbol. And not only are we just, like, it's not. It represents the 5 elements that we worship: earth, air, fire, water, spirit. And if you can't understand that, Christians, don't you guys pray to the Holy Ghost or the Holy Spirit? So it's not really much of a difference. We pray to the spirits as well. We just also pray to all of the elements and all of nature completely. Back to the Corey thing. We were getting ready for Pagan Pride Day 2008 and getting everything together when the incident happened of him passing away, and that whole thing happened, which again, I have a video, one of my first videos I ever made, the story of May 1st, 2008. If you want to go back and watch that to see the whole story, the whole tragedy that went on with that, which some people have asked me, I don't know how you're continuing to live with everything that has gone on and everything that has happened. But he passed away, and I felt obligated to continue getting everything ready for Pagan Pride Day and to still run it, even though it was only, I believe, a month after he passed away, a month to 2 months after he passed away. No, it was in August. He passed away in May, it was in August. So I continued helping, getting everything together. I made sure that there was a place when you came in to pay, that there was a donation center for epilepsy research, since he had epilepsy and died from epilepsy. So we raised a lot of money, which was really awesome, because that was one of the charities that really meant the most to me, and still does. But after he passed away, and we did a ritual, I ran the ritual especially for him at this, and it was a really, really hard and emotional thing for me to do. I actually really did not want to actually go to Pagan Pride Day that year, because I was like, I can't do this alone. I can't do it without him. He is a god himself. I can't do this without him. But then I was like, he would absolutely want me to continue doing this, you know, and he would be very upset if I did not continue going through with this. So I did, and I ran a ritual, and we did a ritual especially for him, which was really nice and very powerful, very emotional. I cried, you know, and everybody was affected by this, some more than others. But once all of that subsided, things kind of took, when it comes to faith, things kind of took a leap in the opposite direction. Basically, what I would always say is Corey was the most spiritual, I cannot stretch that enough, the most spiritual, the most dedicated person when it came to spirituality and came to worshiping Mother Nature and the gods and the goddesses, and just not doing this for being cool, doing this because he had 100%, this was his thing, his faith. And even though we were, like I said, we were both born Jewish, this is who we were meant to be. But after I saw what they did to him, what life had done to him, I had a lapse in faith. And I decided I'm not going to believe in anything anymore. I'm not pagan anymore. I'm out. Because at the time, I was like, if something this horrible can happen to a person who was so dedicated in his life to the paranormal life, to spirituality, to everything that he did, if they would take him away like that, then there is no gods, there are no goddesses, there's nothing like that. I became kind of atheist. I just was like, I'm nothing, I have no faith anymore, because if the gods and goddesses listened to him, why would they take him away in such a horrible way and do that to not only him and his family, but do that to me? And that's when I kind of had the, okay, I'm out, I'm done. Even though I still believed in it, I had a very, very large lapse in faith, and I was just like, I'm taking a break, because I believed that he was the most, and was the most spiritual person there was, and if they can do something like that to him, then there was no gods, there were no goddesses, and I was wasting my time with all of it. Then once I found another love in my life, Michael Braddock, I started to have faith again, because after Corey passed away, I said, I'm never going to fall in love again, you know, and I truly believed this. I was like, I'm never going to be able to be as comfortable with anybody as I was with Corey. I'm never going to be able to fall in love again, and I'm never going to be able to do this with a person. And then I met Michael, and my faith slowly started to build back again, because I was like, okay, well, they took somebody, you know, maybe the gods and the goddesses loved him so much that they took him and they wanted to keep him for themselves. And over, you know, especially the first little while, I've had paranormal experiences that I knew it was Corey talking to me. And I will leave that for the next video, or whatever video I'm doing for the paranormal experiences. And I felt like he was in the room with me, telling me, don't lapse, and don't think that just because I'm not here physically, I'm still here with you spiritually, and don't lose your faith just because this happened. So when I found Michael and I fell in love again, I was like, all right. And I was able to but come back to my roots as being a witch and being pagan. And he had no problem, Michael had no problem with it whatsoever. I'm not entirely sure he believed in it, but we never really discussed it because it was not a hobby of his or anything like that. And it was just kind of my thing. So, but we just didn't really talk about it that much. And over the years, I know they say, like, first of all, the first rule, and I forgot to mention this in the first place, in Wicca and paganism, is to harm, in witchcraft, is to harm none. You know, don't take any shit, but don't do any harm. So, and I take that very seriously. And, but over the years, there have been people who have done horrible, unspeakable acts, which I'm not going to mention because, like I said, I don't mention people when it's not my place to mention these people or these events that have happened. And I don't have their permission, so, you know, I should probably do that. But, so, like, abusive partners, just very scummy, horrible people. And it got me very, very emotional and very, very angry, to the point where I started doing hexes. And the 3 times 3 rule is absolutely true. Whatever you do comes back to you times 3 is the rule. And what you put out in the world is what you're gonna get. So I did these hexes, and yeah, bad shit happened to them. Worse shit happened to me. So when Michael passed away in September, after, and I'm not out of shock, because I still don't believe that he's dead. I'm still kind of in the process of just trying to distract myself more. This is getting way out of hand. Basically, I have had another lapse in faith. I was like, okay, you took the first one away from me. Now you're taking the second one away from me. Is it because I put such small and irrelevant, and only 3 times did I do real hexes? And I was like, I felt very, very guilty. And I know it wasn't my fault or anything like that. But yeah, so when it comes to hexes, no matter how angry you are, no matter who it is, I don't care if it's a freaking terrorist, I don't care if it's an uncle who sexually molested you, I don't care what the circumstances are. Don't ever, ever wish don't ever dabble in that, because it is not a good idea. And I know this from firsthand experience. I'm gonna wrap up this video now. Hopefully it's not as long as I think it probably is. I am trying to make my videos as short as possible, because I know people don't want to sit around for an hour watching and listening to my bullshit. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, unless they are bashing or nasty and rude or mean. You'll be blocked and reported to whatever the people who run YouTube, the YouTube runners, the YouTube people. Don't forget to subscribe right now, because we are at the moment at 46 subscribers, and once we reach 50, there is going to be a giveaway happening, and I will get into the rules in another video coming soon for this giveaway, and it's an awesome giveaway, and I will show what's going to be in the giveaway in that video. If you want to contact me, start following me on Instagram. It's .blaize. I'll leave my name here and in the description box below. You can talk to me on Facebook if you're a part of my Facebook family. And until next time, stay wicked and believe in whatever the hell you want to believe in. Don't do it to be cool or to fit in. Believe it. If you don't want to believe in shit, don't believe in shit. I know a lot of people who just don't believe in shit, okay? But in the end, all that matters is your faith and your happiness. So do what makes you happy. Do what makes you comfortable. Do what makes you feel safe. And that's it. I mean, I'm still trying to get back in the process of practicing my witchcraft and doing that again. I've still been reading tarot, and my friend Chance, who I've been talking to and reading his tarot cards to lately, he's also a practicing witch, and yes, males can be witches too. I know tons of male witches. He's been in awe of how well I'm doing his cards. But anyway, so, like I said, anything that makes you happy, anything that's making you feel safe, anything that makes you feel comfortable, even if that's having no faith at all, do it. So and right now, I'm still in the process, like I said, of trying to get my faith back. I'm still in that process of, you know, even though I'm still pagan and I'm still a witch and whatnot, I'm still in that process of trying to bring that belief system back, because another death like this, when something like this happens, a tragedy like this happens, it does make you question things. So, and I want to say, don't ever not question things. I think you should never stop asking questions. You should question absolutely everything in life. So, and that's what I do. I question everything. So I am a proud Jew by heritage and a proud pagan and witch by belief system and practice. So until next time, stay wicked and love yourself. Word.